Hello folks. Well, I survived the trip up to Los Angeles and back for the Tesla Robotaxi event, despite the universe working against me for planes, trains, and taxis. I promised you a video of the event, so here it is. I'll start with my trip up, then some video clips from the staging area just outside the Warner Brothers studios and the struggle to get inside, and then some clips as we waited for the event to kick off. I'll include my full recording of the event from my phone on a long selfie stick, then wrap up with the post-event trauma of me getting out and making it just in time for my train. Then I'll go through my predictions and grade myself against what actually rolled out. And to my friend Ken, it was great to catch up over dinner. Thanks for hosting me in San Diego and shuttling me back and forth to the trains. Enjoy. Please feed the YouTube algorithm by giving the video a like. If you want to see more like this, click subscribe and ring the bell to be notified of new videos. If you want to chip in on my expenses, I now have Patreon and YouTube memberships. My flight from Puerto Vallarta to Tijuana was an hour late, but otherwise fine. I tried to subtly take a picture of this guy who looks just like Carlos Santana, but he caught me in the act. The line between the Pacific saltwater and the freshwater from a river was striking. And the mountains coming into Tijuana looked great in the sunset. The Amtrak Pacific Surfliner train from San Diego to Burbank on the morning of the event was on time, very comfortable, and had a great snack. Hey, I just arrived at the Warner Brothers studio. They're corralling us in this parking garage. Then at 5 o'clock, apparently we go across the street and check in. I'd say there's about 150 people here now. And I'm celebrity hunting. The only one I've found so far right there is Joe Tegmeyer. He flies his drone around the Austin Gigafactory and does a fantastic job. So I went and introduced myself, and I think I'm probably going to be in his videos. So we'll see how that turns out.
All right, I'm here with Mike. He came in from Barcelona. And as I'm asking everybody, what are your expectations for tonight? What do you want to see?
Well, I have a feeling we already kind of know everything we're going to see. It'll be a small two-door car with a hatchback running FSD. But my one more thing I'm hoping for is the Optimus robot. I want to see where we are on the status of that and when I can buy mine. Did I mention that there's some Cybertrucks here? As far as the eye can see. There's another gate with 4 metal detectors, and they're just standing there. So I just got through the horrific security system, came through the gate. I have my Negroni, and this is where everything is happening. The big screen over there is where Elon's going to make his talk. Then there's 4 different areas in the sound stages where the Robotaxi rides are going to be pick up and drop off. Snacks to be had. Staff walking around with trays of hors d'oeuvres. Tesla burger. Looks like I guess right. We're gonna get some test drives tonight. Lots of signs about don't bring your cocktail into the car with you. They changed everything to a Tesla motif. Autonomous apothecaries for autonomous driving. Frunken boots for frunk and trunk as the terms are used in Tesla cars. I originally estimated a few hundred people would be here. I am definitely wrong. Somebody in line said he heard that 2,500 people were invited here tonight, and I think I see all of them.
It wasn't on my channel, it was on John McAvoy's channel. And the first one was you guys. And this thing's amazing.
So I was just talking with a couple of guys here. One works for SpaceX in Hawthorne, and one works for Tesla in Fremont. And I gave them my predictions for what was going to happen today, and they just kind of smiled and nodded their heads non-committally. Being good Tesla and SpaceX employees, they didn't tip me off about anything going on, but they just ran up here. This is actually a church building. You can't really tell, but the steeple is there, and they're going to sell merchandise inside after the main keynote. So they're calling it the Merch Church, and I'll have to go in and get myself a shirt. You see this rope? This is the VIP side of the rope. So all of these people are VIPs for some reason, but they're all going to have to move because this is the road where the cyber taxi is going to drive right through all these people and come up on the stage right there. That's Elon's brother, Kimball Musk. What's he doing in the cheap seats?
Ladies and gentlemen, here, everywhere, online, around the world, outer space, I'm Franz. And on behalf of everybody at Tesla, welcome to We Robot. Just want to thank Warner Brothers for hosting us here. As you know, this is the birthplace of many epic films, many of them depicting a vision of the future. We're here tonight to experience that future that is closer than you think. And who better than Elon, right, to show us that future? So it looks like Elon's on his way, so let's welcome him on here. robot party. We have quite a show for you tonight. I think you're gonna like it. As you can see, I just arrived in the Robotaxi, the Cybercab. There's 20 more where that came from. So they've been traveling. There's no people in them, as you can see. The car's just going by with no people. And we have 50 fully autonomous cars here tonight. So you'll see Model Ys and the Cybercab, all driverless. You'll be able to take a ride in the Cybercab. There's no steering wheel or pedals. So I hope this goes well. We'll find out. So you see a lot of sci-fi movies where the future is dark and dismal, where it's not a future you want to be in. So, like, I love Blade Runner, but I don't know if we want that future. I think we want that duster he's wearing, but not the bleak apocalypse. We want to have a fun, exciting future that if you could look in a crystal ball and see the future, you'd be like, yes, I wish I could be there now. That's what we want. So when we think about transport today, there's a lot of kind of pain that we take for granted that we think is normal. Like having to drive around LA in like 3 hours of traffic. People that live in LA, I mean, trying to get from Pasadena to, El Segundo during rush hour is like, you can fly to, another city faster than you can get to down LA. So you have to drive the whole way. Unless you're in a Tesla, of course. Tesla already does quite well at this, supervised self-driving. So supervised full self-driving is actually working quite well. I'm sure there's people in the crowd, you're using that, yeah? So we'll move from supervised full self-driving to unsupervised full self-driving, where the car, you could fall asleep and wake up at your destination. So, but there's also a challenge for a lot of people that cars cost too much. I mean, when you factor in everything that goes into a car, and the car insurance, and the car payments, and the storage of the car, it's very expensive. So with, and you say like how many hours a week are cars used? Your average passenger car is only used about 10 hours a week out of 168 hours. So the vast majority of the time, cars are just doing nothing. But if they're autonomous, they could be used, 5 times more, maybe 10 times more. So you could actually, for the same car, would have 5 times as much value, maybe 10 times as much value. There's 168 hours in the week, and like I said, only 10 of them are used for driving. So, and then a bunch of those hours are looking for a parking spot, which is, can be pretty annoying at times. So we want, with autonomy, you get your time back. This is a very big deal. So it's not just it'll save lives, like a lot of lives, and prevent injuries. I think we'll see autonomous cars become 10 times safer than a human. I mean, if you think of times past where there used to be an elevator operator in every elevator, but once in a while they get tired and they accidentally show somebody in half. So now we have automated elevators. You just get in an elevator and you press a button, and you don't even think about it, and it just takes you to the floor. And if you did see an elevator operator with a big relay switch, you'd be like, "That's weird." Now that's how cars will be. And it's not just the lives saved in injuries, but if you think about the cumulative time that people spend in a car and the time that they will get back,
that they can now spend, well, I guess on their phones, or watching a movie, or doing work, or whatever you want to do. You can think of the car in an autonomous world as being like just a little lounge. You're just sitting in a comfortable little lounge, and you can do whatever you want while you're in this comfortable little lounge. And when you get out, you will be at your destination. So, yeah, it's gonna be awesome. So in fact, I think the cost of autonomous transport will be so low that you can think of it like individualized mass transit. The average cost of a bus per mile for a city, not the ticket price because that is subsidized, but the average price is about $1 a mile. Whereas the cost of cybercab, we think probably over time, for the operating cost is probably going to be around 20 cents a mile. And price, including taxes and everything else, probably ends up being 30 or 40 cents a mile. So yes, and you will be able to buy one. Yes, exactly. We expect the cost to be below $30,000. And I think there'll be an interesting, business model where, like, let's say somebody is an, Uber or Lyft driver today, where they can actually sort of manage a fleet of cars, and like a sort of manage, 10, 20 cars, and just sort of, take care of them like a shepherd tends their flock. You have your flock of cars, and you're the shepherd, and you take care of your flock of cars. I think that'd be pretty cool. I think it's gonna be a glorious future. It's gonna be really something special. So, yes, good, all excellent questions. We do expect actually to start fully autonomous, unsupervised FSD in Texas and California next year. And that's with the Model 3 and Model Y. And then we expect to be in production with the Cybercab, which is really highly optimized for autonomous transport in probably, well, I tend to be a little optimistic with time frames, but in 2026. So, yeah. Before 2027, let me put it that way. We'll make this vehicle in very high volume, but well before that, you will experience a robotic taxi via the Model 3 and Model Y program, and Model S and X too. But the your 3 and Y will achieve unsupervised full self-driving with permission in wherever regulators essentially approve it in the US, and then to follow in outside the US. So, and it's Cybertruck too, yes, of course, sorry, I don't want to be, yes. All our cars are basically, all cars that we make. So, let's not get nuanced here. All right, next slide. So, one of the reasons why the computer can be so much better than a person is that we have millions of cars that are training on driving. So it's like living millions of lives simultaneously and seeing very unusual situations that a person in their entire lifetime would not see. But hopefully, yeah, exactly. So with that amount of training data, it's obviously going to be much better than what a human could be, because you can't live a million lives. And it's also, it can see in all directions simultaneously, and it doesn't get tired or text or any of those things. So it will naturally be, like you said, 10, 20, 30 times safer than a human, just for all those reasons. And I want to emphasize that the solution that we have is AI and vision. So there's no expensive equipment needed. So the Model 3, Model Y, and S and X that we make today will be capable of full autonomy unsupervised. And that means that our cost of producing the vehicle is low. Now we are going to actually overspec the computer for the Cybercab. So our AI5 computer will be somewhat overspec. And because I think there's actually also an opportunity, sort of like in Amazon Web Services, where if the car's driving for 50 hours a week, there's still over 100 hours left. And there's a potential there to have a massive amount of distributed inference compute, where if you've got, like, say, a fleet of 100 million vehicles and a kilowatt of efficient inference compute, you have 100 gigawatts of compute, which is really quite substantial. And if it's there, you might as well use it. So, yeah, so that I think will make sense. So, all right. So our autonomous future is here. As I said, we've got 50 Teslas driving autonomously. We're trying to give you a sense of what cities will be like in the future. And when you get in, you'll see, like, it's really quite a wild experience to just be in a car with no steering wheel, no pedals, no controls, and it feels great. And we have enough vehicles here, so everyone should be able to try it out and experience the set that we've built here. It's a very big set, so it's like really, we've used, I don't know, 20, 30 acres or something like that. It's really big. So it goes on, the ride's long. And we set it up to feel like a ride, like a park ride. So it'll be cool, and you'll get to experience it tonight. Something we're also doing is,
inductive
and
charging.
It's really high time we did this, is inductive charging. So the Robotaxi has no plug. It just goes over the inductive charger and charges. So, yeah.
Robo
Kind of
cleaner.
Thanks, guys. I love you too. So, one of the things that is really interesting is how will this affect the cities that we live in? And when you drive around a city, or when the car drives you around a city, you'll see there's a lot of parking lots. There's parking lots everywhere. Parking garages. So what would happen if you have an autonomous world is that you can now turn parking lots into parks. And so we're taking the ing lot out of parking lot. Welcome. So there's a lot of opportunities to create green space in the cities that we live in. So that would be quite fantastic. Oh, and also, what happens if you need a vehicle that is bigger than a Model Y? The Robovan. The Robovan is, we're going to make this, and it's going to look like that. And can you imagine going down the streets and you see this coming towards you? That'd be sick. So this can carry up to 20 people, and it can also transport goods. So you can configure it for goods transport within a city, or transport of up to 20 people at a time. So this is gonna, the Robovan is what's gonna solve for high density. So if you want to take a sports team somewhere, or you're looking to really get the cost of travel down to, I don't know, 5-10 cents a mile, then you can use the Robovan. Some people call it the Robovan, but so yeah. One of the things we want to do, and we've seen this with the Cybertruck, is we want to change the the look of the roads. The future should look like the future. So, speaking of robots, so everything we've developed for our cars, the batteries, power electronics, the advanced motors, gearboxes, the software, the AI inference computer, it all actually applies to a humanoid robot. It's the same techniques. It's just a robot with arms and legs instead of a robot with wheels. And we've made a lot of progress with Optimus. And as you can see, we started up with someone in a robot suit, sort of that. And then we've progressed dramatically year after year. So if you extrapolate this, you're really going to have something spectacular, something that anyone could own. So you can have your own personal R2-D2 C3PO. And I think at scale, this would cost something like, I don't know, $20,000, $30,000. Probably less than a car, is my prediction long term. It'll take us a minute to get to the long term, but fundamentally at scale, the Optimus robot, you should be able to buy an Optimus robot for, I think, probably $20,000 to $30,000 long term. So, and what can it do? It'll be able to do anything you want. So it can be a teacher, babysit your kids, it can walk your dog, mow your lawn, get the groceries, just be your friend, serve drinks, whatever you can think of, it will do. And yeah, it's gonna be awesome. I think this will be the biggest product ever of any kind. Because I think everyone, of the 8 billion people of Earth, I think everyone's gonna want their Optimus buddy. And there's gonna be maybe two, and then they'll be producing products and services. I predict actually, provided we address risks of digital superintelligence, 80% probability of good outcome. Look on the bright side. The cup is 80% full. The cost of products and services will decline dramatically, and basically anyone will be able to have any products and services they want. It will be an age of abundance, the likes of which people have almost no one has envisioned. It'll be something special. So, now one of the things we wanted to show tonight was that Optimus is not a canned video. It's not walled off. The Optimus robots will walk among you. Please be nice to the Optimus robots. So you'll be able to walk right up to them, and they'll serve drinks at the bar. And you'll directly, I mean, that's just, it's a wild experience just to have humanoid robots, and they're there, just in front of you. So, yeah, with that, let's party. I love you guys too. If you look at that, the gazebo over there, let's get the party started.
was standing right over here on the grass behind the rope, and they started pushing everybody back while they had 100 douchebag celebrities walking along the road telling us we were in the wrong place and we needed to move. Again, bad crowd management. Guys, figure this out. And I thought, okay, before I get in line for a ride, I'll go to the merch church. There's 1,000 people trying to go into the merch church. It's like, okay, you invited way too many people to this thing. So I came over to this side to find the line I get into, and the guy there told me I have to go back where I was because that's where the lines are, directly contradicting what they told me over there. Ugh. Well, it's 10:05 for my 10:10 train. I had to run through the station because it's at track 14 all the way at the very end. So this is a semi-successful end to the evening, and I know I'm getting home. And then I just have to go to Mexico tomorrow.
Okay, and now for the moment of truth. Let's check out my predictions. Prediction 1, on the Robotaxi itself. Small city car, absolutely. 2 doors, 2 passengers, a hatch for luggage, all correct. But I have to say that was pretty obvious, so I'm not going to pat myself on the back too much. I said 80% no steering or pedals, and that was too conservative. It came out no driver controls at all, so that should have been 100%. 20% safety driver, absolutely not. This is a self-driving car. Prediction 2, test rides on private roads because it's unregulated. 100% correct with 50 cars. I didn't expect that many cars rolling around the test track inside the studio. Prediction 3, timetables. Well, we just had another Elon space-time continuum situation. I predicted rolling out the start of production within 12 months. That's going to be tough. That will be late 2025. I think we may see prototypes or what they call production intent cars, with full volume ramping up in 2026. So he's going to slightly miss my 12-month prediction. Although government approvals, they're going to roll out in Texas and California first with follow-ons as they can get approval around the world. Credibility, again, the stock was down $20 a share the next day, and I think that the credibility of the timetable of rolling out disappointed the market a bit. But if you look back at the history of Tesla announcement days, the market goes down every single freaking time. The market is never happy with whatever Tesla shows. And I think they come to regret that over time. Prediction number 4, the taxi fleet. Will there be Tesla-owned vehicles? Yes, Tesla will run its own cars in the fleet. And clearly using the Tesla app. I put half price. I want to give you an example. I took an Uber on Friday morning in California. It was $32.21 to go 6.65 miles. And I double checked that with the receipt that I was emailed. That's $4.84 a mile. Elon says they can run the Robotaxi, including insurance and maintenance and everything, at 40 cents a mile. That is 1/10 of the cost that I paid. Even if you double that to 80 cents a mile, it's still 1/5 the price of an Uber today. And this is the kind of cost savings that we are looking for. Okay, I said half price, it's actually 1/5 the price. I had 50% odds that you can buy one, and it's actually 100% odds that you can buy one. You can buy it and own it. You can just keep it to yourself, or you can put it into the fleet whenever you want to, as I described in those timelines. Okay, I fell down on this. Is it the $25,000 Model 2? No. He didn't explicitly say anything about Model 2, but I was expecting, and everybody pretty much expects the Model 2 to be a small sedan with it, 4 seats, maybe 5 seats. Definitely 2 rows, more like a standard car. With the Robotaxi coming in at less than $30,000 in volume, I am now doubting that the Model 2 is going to be coming in at anything less than $30,000. That's going to be a stretch. So the Model 2 is definitely a different vehicle. Prediction 5, your car in the fleet. Yep, as I just said, you can keep it for yourself. You can add it to the fleet. It will earn you money. You can set your own schedule. And I said existing Teslas will be added to the Robotaxi fleet concept later. They're actually coming first because Elon said every car running hardware 3 is eligible to become a Robotaxi, and that's millions and millions and millions of cars. Pretty much everything except the very first few years of Model S and Model X. So conventional Teslas coming first, then Robotaxis will enter the fleet when that scales up. Prediction 6, AI support. Well, I kind of struck out entirely on this concept. He didn't mention anything about back-end data center support. The only thing they said was this will have the in-car AI 5 computer. He didn't say how much performance it would have. But the good news is everything that's a hardware 3 or hardware 4 or hardware 5 can be a Robotaxi. Prediction 7, Optimus Robot. This went farther than I could have possibly imagined, looking for advanced demonstrations of what they can do. You saw in the videos, they were pouring drinks, they were handing bags to people, interacting directly with people in a non-controlled situation. They were moving about, kind of pre-programmed, playing instruments and dancing around. Manufacturing timeline, they're going to be coming soonish, not as fast as I would hope, but clearly it's an important thing for Tesla. I predicted $50,000 initial cost. Elon said it's $20,000 to $30,000 initial cost for one unit. And I'm assuming that you can order it on the Tesla app like everything else. So I would give myself 75% grade on my predictions, and luckily the really important ones all came true, which is good for Tesla. It's good for potential Tesla customers of cars, of robots, and of passengers in the Robotaxi fleet. So to wrap things up after the event, the Robotaxi is real. It's coming, and it will revolutionize transportation as we know it. And for the doubters, look at what Elon's companies have done. Tesla, SpaceX, solar power, battery storage, the Boring Company, Neuralink. Yesterday, SpaceX successfully launched and caught a 233-foot tall booster rocket. That's the equivalent of a 21-story building dropping from space with the precision of just inches on the first try. Will something as simple as a robotaxi work? Damn right it will. Never bet against Elon. I hope you enjoyed that, and have a great robo day. Before we wrap up, I'd like to thank my Patreons and YouTube members, Peter Bouvier, Puppy, and Craig, for their ongoing support. I see that a whopping 96% of my viewers are not subscribers, so please go ahead and click that subscribe button because it really helps out the YouTube algorithm. Thanks, and take care, and I'll see you in the next video.